So what we've done is describe the internet protocol, the IP layer, and tightly coupled with that is the TCP layer, or the transmission control protocol. So with TCP, the way you should think about it is a bit of quality control. And so say you want to send a message to someone other computer on the internet. You want to visit a web page or you want to download a file. The first thing that's going to happen is they establish what they say is a TCP session. And this is a sort of a handshake protocol. So the first thing you do is send the other computer a message saying, hey, can we talk? And then the other computer will come back with another postcard that says, sure, we can talk. Here's some details of how we can talk. And then you send a third message back to the other computer saying, great, I acknowledge that we're going to be talking according to these rules. Let's talk. So 3 messages go back and forth between you and the destination computer before anything else happens. All right, so let's take a look at the final piece of the puzzle, and this is really where our postcard analogy really shines. So say you've written a novel. It's a fantastic novel, and you want your friend to read it and give you feedback. What we're going to do is actually send your novel by postcards. So we're going to take your giant novel and break it into a whole bunch of little tiny pieces and send each piece of your novel via postcard to your friend. And that is how messages are actually transmitted over the internet. You might download big files, but they're broken up into little tiny pieces. Even images, whenever you view an image on the internet, it was broken up into a whole bunch of little tiny pieces. And so we break up your big book into a whole bunch of postcards, and then the person receiving the postcards reassembles those postcards into a book. And the postcard analogy really works well, because you can imagine if you were to do this in the real world, you would get all those postcards and drop them in the mailbox, and then all of your postcards would be sent through the mail. Some of them will arrive on different days, they may arrive out of order, and some of them may get lost. And so that is actually what happens on the real internet. For our analogy, we're going to refer to these little postcard messages as packets. Packets, just like postcards, can arrive out of order and they can go missing. So the TCP is the protocol that handles all of this. It takes your big message and breaks it up into packets and numbers these packets. So for example, your novel, you might say, okay, this is the first postcard of 1,428 postcards. All right, this is number 1. And then this one's number 2, and this one's number 3. And you do the same thing. The TCP protocol breaks your big message up into these little tiny small packets. And it numbers them and then sends them off to the destination. And then the destination looks at all these postcards and acknowledges, I got this postcard. Oh, I'm missing postcard number 52. I'm missing packet number 52. And so then you can resend them postcard number 52 or packet number 52. And so this protocol is established, and then once all the postcards arrive, all the packets are there, then the destination computer reassembles them, and you get the big file you were downloading off the internet. This postcard analogy really holds well, and it really is good for you to think about all these little tiny packets going all over the internet, multiple hops between different computers, and that's what actually happens whenever you communicate over the internet. And that concludes our middle layer. So if you recall, the low layer was all about the physical connection. How can you actually get from your computer or your device to the internet? What physical medium is it going to be there? And then all of the computers on the internet are also physically connected by very different ways. But once you have that connection, you can get physically from one spot in the world to another spot. How do we actually deliver something? And that is what this middle layer is all about, the TCP/IP protocol.